Hey folks, how you doing? Papa Joe here. Just ate me some dinner. Had some leftover uh, ham and beans, and a slice of that meatloaf I made the other night. The meatloaf, I ain't made up my mind if I like it or not. The bacon wrap on it wasn't too bad when it was fresh. You microwave it and it got a little more dried out than I like on my bacon. I like limp bacon, not dried out bacon. The cheese in it, it didn't stay in there, go figure, even though I let it sit there and rest for a while. When I went to slice it, it just ran everywhere. So I wasn't impressed with the cheese filled part. I don't think I will do that anymore. The bacon wrap, we'll see. We all know I like my bacon, and I'll put bacon on or around most anything. No, I ain't sure if that was a win or not. But anyway, it was edible, and that's what I had for dinner. So I brought out leftovers of both. So that's what I had. Now I want to talk a little bit about what the media is feeding us. I have recently seen a meme, where they was talking about Jimmy Carter. I don't know if it's true or not. I find it hard to believe myself. But Jimmy Carter overall was a good man. He had a good soul. We ain't talking about his presidency. We're talking about him as a man. And he seemed to be a good, devout Christian man. But this meme was supposedly quoting him saying that if Jesus was here, he would approve of gay marriage. Or something to that effect. I don't buy into it. I don't think that's true at all. Because he definitely knows better. Now also, I seen a video. So this one I know was true. And it was with Chelsea Clinton. And they only showed short part of it, of course. So it could have been doctored itself. However, the good book tells us the fruit don't fall far from the tree. And we will cover more of that Sunday in Sunday services. But she was saying that she was raised a Christian girl. Could be true. And she thinks that it is unchristian to be anti-abortion. Really? What church did you go to? I don't know of a single church out there that approves of abortion. Now, there might be some that are pro-choice, so to speak, saying that if it's endangering the mother's life or if it was rape or incest, they might agree with that one. I don't know of any that do, but I'm going to give out the possibility that they probably could be one out there. Because there are some churches that do really stupid stuff. Like go and picket our warriors' funerals. That one still bites me. Real bad. Well, folks, I got news for you. In my opinion, God don't approve of either one. Now, as for the gay, the homosexuality, he destroyed a couple cities over that stuff. It's in the Bible. I'd say that's pretty much not approving of it when you destroy 2 cities over it. What do you think? As for the abortions, Jesus told us that you shouldn't get in the way of the children coming to him. That you'd be better off to tie a millstone, which a millstone's pretty dadgum big. It's a grinding stone. It weighs tonnage. Said you'd be better off to tie a millstone around your neck and be thrown in the deepest parts of the ocean. That pretty much tells me he don't want you getting in the way of the children coming to him. I would call an abortion pretty much getting in the way of going to being between Jesus and the children. That ain't a good scenario. I just read tonight an article where another one of these TV stars, he just stole a fan's phone and destroyed it and kept it. Really? That'd be good for your fan base. Another story I was just telling Grandma about. In Germany, an old couple couldn't pay their taxes. So the city came and they was going to take their most expensive item, which was his wheelchair. A little research, they found out the wheelchair didn't really belong to him. It was an insurance company type thing. So they took the family dog and sold it on eBay. What are we coming to, folks? What is the media feeding us? What is our government feeding us? And are you eating it? Are you swallowing it? Excuse me. Are you disagreeing, protesting? What are you doing? The media is trying to convince us, and parts of the government, that being gay is okay. Well, in their world it might be. But they have to go a step farther. If it goes against your religious rights or your religious beliefs, then you're wrong. And you need to change your beliefs. Really? How come they're entitled to their beliefs, but I'm not entitled to mine? What's wrong with this picture? There's a video going viral right now. Big old tall black kid in school. A smaller white guy. He ain't tiny, but he's a lot smaller. And this big black kid trying to knock this Make America Great hat off of his head, and eventually does. He just bullied the hell out of the boy. That's okay. Now, if he had a Black Lives Matter shirt on, and that was reversed, then that other kid would have been a racist. You know I'm telling you the truth. No sugar added. How come when their side don't like it, the other side needs to change? How come when their side is being bullies and wanting to hunt down cops and rioting in the street, destroying personal property, destroying businesses, stealing from these businesses, all of this is okay. We'll find a name for it. But if this side calls them out on it, you're a hater. You're privileged. You got white privilege. I know a lot of people right now that wish they had that white privilege that we keep getting beat over the head with. I'm one of them. I guarantee you, they didn't cut me no slack on my state taxes, on my property taxes and school taxes and all of that. I tried to play that white privilege card, and they told me that they might double them. Imagine that. The media is no longer a news source. The media is nothing but a propaganda tool. The media is nothing but a way for the left to get their word out. The media is nothing but a way for the government to control your thoughts. And the worst thing about all of it is there's so many people that are gullible enough they buy into it. I have one fella that I talk to, and it just amazes me how when we're talking and I mention anything, oh, no, that ain't right. That must have came from this news source or this news source, and they're not good. That's fake news. But he'll quote me stuff that he's seen on CNN or wherever, and that's a good news source. That means it must be true. And he'll want to argue with me about it, but I don't argue. Then not long down the road, it'll come around the way I was talking about. It'll be proven that his sources was wrong. His information was wrong. I never hear about that part. Imagine that. Another one of these rhinos. Republican in name only is what a rhino is, for those that don't know. They claim to be a Republican, but yet they have these left-leaning tendencies. They agree more with the left than they do the right. And when they're agreeing with the left, they take on that left mentality. I bet you know some. It's ridiculous. It's wrong. Any way you spell it, it's wrong. And if you don't have enough common sense in you to be able to figure out right from wrong, I feel sorry for you. You got some education to do. You got some studying to do. There is no such thing as white privilege. Oh yeah, you're born with it. Just because you're white, the cops don't harass you as much. No, that's called being a law-abiding citizen. Period. Oh, but the cops will stop a black man quicker. Will he? I happen to know for a fact that my children in Georgia was out riding with a guy, not doing nothing illegal, nothing at all. The only thing that they did, they had a little rebel flag sticker in the back window of the car. And two black cops stopped them and harassed them and made them take it off. But that don't really happen, does it? It doesn't happen on both sides of that fence. Well, why didn't we hear about that one? Because them kids went ahead and scraped that sticker off of there, and they didn't make a big to-do about it. And when they told the parents about it, we didn't raise a big fuss. Maybe I should have, but I didn't. Maybe I should have called Jesse Jackson in on it. Maybe old Al would have jumped up and fought for them kids. Ain't that what they're both claim to be, is fighting for the underprivileged? Well, my kids were raised poor white kids. Don't that make them underprivileged? Wonder how far that would have made in the media. What do you think? About as far as it makes it whenever some of these little gangbangers in the city shoot a cop. You don't hear about that much, do you? But let a cop of any race shoot a black kid. It's plastered. And it must be race. Must have been a hate crime. It's ridiculous. And they keep spoon feeding this stuff to all of the masses. And how many are taking it? How many are buying into it? I ain't. Another good example is the gun nonsense. They just put up a bill that would require any gun dealer to report any illegals that was trying to buy a gun, which they can't legally buy because they're illegals. The right passed it, the left vetoed it. They didn't veto it, but they didn't pass it. They voted against it. So once again, they don't want you and I to own guns, but for their illegal voter base, they can have a gun. They're okay with that. Really. That's different. Or is it? Whenever a drunk driver kills somebody, it's the driver's fault. It ain't the car's fault. But when some idiot shoots up some people, it ain't his fault. It's the gun's fault. And not only is it the gun's fault, we need to take the guns away from all of the citizens. Let's unarm the masses. Really? That pork's making me a fat old truck driver too. I guess these shoddy truck drivers we got out here must be the fault of the truck. They ain't got nothing to do with the school, the company, or the driver themselves. It's got to be the truck's fault. Why don't we ban the trucks from the road? Wait a minute. Some of them like that idea. Being that their groceries just reappear in that store by themselves. Folks, you got to be careful what they're feeding you. Don't believe these little idiots like Chelsea Clinton. She ain't got a clue. She's another one that lived the privileged life. Not only did she live the privileged life, she lived it with a couple of thieves and murderers as her role models. The fruit don't fall far from the tree. She just got tied up in a whole bunch of nonsense over the Clinton Foundation. She's already a millionaire by theft, but a millionaire. But I'm supposed to believe her. Mostly because she told me she was raised a Christian girl. Gotcha. Not. I've waited a couple weeks since I seen those. I started to do a video or two on them. And I deleted the videos. You might have liked them, but I didn't. So now, I made the video. And it's a lot better than the original one. And with that, I want to remind you, God loves you. So do I. God loves you. Even if you are killing the babies. Even if you are homosexual. God loves you. He wants to talk to you. You need to talk to him. You need to get into his word a little bit. It's not a fairy tale. My life proves that. Y'all have a blessed evening. Don't swallow it. What they're feeding you, Don't swallow it. Y'all have a good day now. God bless.